I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome back to the best leadership podcast ever, where every week we reframe your daily habits to help catapult your career. It's really fascinating, interesting. Sometimes I amaze myself at the things that I come up with. I wish I knew me when I was younger. By the way, my name is Jeff Matlow. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself already. How embarrassing. I'm a 3-time entrepreneur and a leadership coach for executive teams at high-growth companies. I make the teams more productive. That's what I do. It's fun. I love it. I work with companies between 30 and 300 people. And speaking of 300, that's what I want to talk to you about today, because 300 is a big and important number. Actually, it isn't, but let's pretend it is. Because it kind of started with the Spartans. Maybe you know the story, perhaps you saw the movie, maybe you read the graphic novel, I don't know, but here's the basic gist. It was way back in 480 BC. Confucius just croaked, Pythagoras was producing some theorems, and the Persians were actually a bunch of jerks trying to take over the world. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Well, maybe there is. But the thing is, the Spartans would have none of it. And, as it turns out, they happen to be the most feared fighters in the land. You just don't fuck with the Spartans. So when the Persians set their sights on sacking Sparta, 300 badass Spartan warriors were sent to the front lines to fight for their freedom against this massive Persian army. Keep in mind, it was 300 Spartan warriors against thousands of Persians. It's safe to say the odds were not in the favor of the Spartans. And yes, those 300 Spartans got completely decimated in the end, but that's not the point. The point is, those 300 warriors fought like badass mofos and held off the thousands of Persian fighters for 2 days straight. That epic battle of the 300 now has come to symbolize bravery, sacrifice, and standing up for what's right, even though there may be overwhelming odds against you. That's the meaning of 300. And that is where we transition into our little leadership lesson today. And it starts with the bravery of leadership. Because leading people is hard and confusing and honestly sometimes really frustrating. Every once in a while, you kind of just want to punch one of your employees in the face, right? But your job as a leader isn't to abuse your team. It's to make decisions. And lots of decisions are easy to make. You don't even think twice about those decisions, but those aren't the ones I'm talking to you about today. The real challenge of your leadership is how you handle the harder decisions, the ones that sit in the gray zone. Imagine you're driving. It's late at night, you're tired, and you're trying to navigate the car on a heavily twisting road in a heavier fog with no way to see a darn thing beyond the limited glow of your headlights. You know there's danger all around you, you just don't know where it is. You can't see it. Those are the types of decisions that are hard, the ones where you don't have any insight into what's right or wrong. Those moments can easily lead leaders to lean on the brakes and stop moving forward. Because let's face facts, it's scary making decisions when you don't know what the potential outcome is. What if you make the wrong decision? What if you fail? What if you take that proverbial car down the wrong proverbial path and over a proverbial cliff? That would proverbially suck. People could get hurt and it would be your fault. Sometimes it feels easier to just avoid the challenging conversations, right? It's easier to just ignore the hard decisions. Heck, your rug is big enough, why don't you just sweep it all underneath? But that's not leadership. It takes courage to move forward despite the fog. It takes bravery to lead even when there's fear of the unknown. And it takes sacrifice. The sacrifice of leadership. Because you can't always be right. You shouldn't always be right. The best leaders are never always right. They know that always being right is not their job. So your job isn't about you being right. It's about helping your team learn what's right. And your job is to empower your team, to protect your team. Your job is to teach them how to be brave in times of fear. To do this, you sometimes have to sacrifice your pride. When others are attacking your people, when they want to tear your team apart, It's your job to jump in front of the bullets in order to protect your posse there. In my executive coaching practice, I come across a lot of leaders who don't understand the importance of sacrificing themselves for their team. And let me be clear, it's super important. Your team will work harder and be more innovative when they know you've got their back. Hey, 300 Spartans were willing to sacrifice everything they had for their people. You need to be like them, but maybe we limit your sacrificial ceiling to your job for now. We don't have to take your life yet. So be the selfless leader your team is proud to support. Because when push comes to shove, you need to stand up for what's right. Assuming you have morals, you will, at some point in your life, encounter a moral dilemma or two. It's just going to happen. That's the way life works. You decide what you think is right, and then life will throw you all sorts of tests to see if what you say and what you do are aligned. The tests aren't always loud, obvious, lion roar-like moments. Sometimes it's just a quiet squeak of a mouse. It's so silent, this test, that you may not even realize you're being tested. For instance, do you speak up when it's easier to stay silent? Do you do the hard thing when absolutely nobody's watching? Do you tend to somebody in need, or do you look the other way as you walk on by? It's in these moments that your leadership and your humanity is defined. Because being a leader isn't just about making decisions. It's about standing up for what's right, even when what's right is uncomfortable, unpopular, or downright risky. But here's the good news. You are brave, you are willing to sacrifice yourself for your team, and those are the two tools you need to stand up for what's right. And after all, if you're not going to stand up for what's right, who is? And if you don't do it now, when will they? Every leader has their own battles. Every leader faces those moments when bravery is daunting, sacrifice feels scary, and doing what's right feels like you're floating deeper into the darkness of outer space. Remember, you don't want to avoid the battles. It's the actual battle that's the important part. It's about being there for your team even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. The bravery and sacrifice in the Battle of the 300 Spartans inspired their people to fight for something bigger than themselves. That was the ultimate lesson in leadership. And you can inspire that same kind of loyalty in your team. I know you can. And you don't have to be a martyr or wear a kilt to do it. It's all about embracing bravery, sacrifice, and standing up for what's right. So here's my challenge to you. 2 questions. What's one brave decision you've been avoiding? And number 2, what's one way you can better stand up for your team? It's time to tackle those. It's time to lead. Embrace the 300 in you. You got this. If any of this resonates with you, you want to chat with the coach, you want to help make your team more productive, drop me a line, leadership@bytitleonly.com. Meantime, if you like this, feel free to share it. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.